To be frank, let's admit it. The truth is, most people find waiting unpleasant, particularly when we're anticipating some sort of change or improvement. Waiting in general can be quite exasperating, but waiting specifically on God can feel even more challenging. It's when we're hoping for things to take a turn for the better in our lives, yet despite our prayers and efforts, it seems like nothing is happening. And yes, this theme of waiting on the Lord is reiterated throughout the Bible. The most challenging aspect of life often feels like being stuck in what can be metaphorically described as God's waiting room. Many find themselves in this waiting room at present. But what exactly is God's waiting room? It's the place we find ourselves when we're eagerly anticipating something to happen, yet God seems distant from that space. Whether it's the desire to graduate, to find a life partner, to start a family, to kickstart a business venture, or achieve significant goals and dreams, many are in a rush for various reasons, and it feels like God isn't there with them. Waiting is something we humans detest, especially when it feels like we're waiting on God. Have you ever felt like you're in a hurry and God seems absent? You pray fervently, believing it's in line with God's will, yet you can't help but wonder why He hasn't shown up in this waiting room of life. Impatience sets in, and the temptation to push God for immediate results grows stronger. Some find themselves on the brink of giving up, feeling disheartened as they realize that God's timing doesn't align with their own. Yet, it's in these moments of waiting that we learn to place our trust in God. It's in the midst of these challenging waiting periods that our character is molded and refined. Through the pain of waiting, we learn to lean on Him, recognizing that without faith, it's impossible to please Him. It's in this waiting room where our character is shaped and strengthened. As you focus on your project, goal, dream, or vision, it's essential to remember that God is simultaneously working on shaping you. His primary interest lies in your personal growth and development, far surpassing any achievements you may attain. While your accomplishments may not endure beyond this life, the character you cultivate will last for eternity. Occasionally, God affirms His intention to fulfill His promises and answer your prayers. He acknowledges that growth and readiness are prerequisites for receiving His blessings. While you may perceive yourself as waiting on God's response through prayer, He reveals that the true waiting is on your part. God is actively preparing you, testing your faith, and fostering your growth to ensure you can fully embrace the magnitude of the blessings He has in store for you. These blessings are beyond your current capacity to manage, indicating that you're not yet prepared to handle them. Another valuable lesson in life is understanding that a delay does not equate to denial. There exists a significant distinction between the two. This concept can be challenging for young children to grasp. When you tell a child, "not yet," they may interpret it as a definitive no and react emotionally. However, it's essential to recognize that a delay is not indicative of rejection. From a spiritual perspective, God communicates His intentions clearly. He has a plan for your life, a vision, a dream, but perhaps you're not fully prepared to receive His blessings at this moment. Instead, He assures that He will respond to your prayers at the appropriate time. It's crucial to understand that God is always patient with us, waiting for us to be ready to receive His blessings. This understanding holds significance because when you find yourself in God's waiting room, you're vulnerable to various negative emotions such as worry, stress, anxiety, frustration, jealousy, and envy. Comparing your circumstances to others' achievements can lead to feelings of inadequacy and disappointment. However, God's delays are purposeful. They serve as opportunities for growth, fostering trust in Him and building your character. Remember, a delay does not signify a denial. Just as parents differentiate between no and not yet with their children, God's timing is perfect, and His delays are part of His divine plan for your life. Throughout the Scriptures, we encounter numerous examples of individuals who experience significant delays before witnessing the fulfillment of God's promises. For instance, God instructed Noah to construct an ark to save his family from a catastrophic flood, yet it took 120 years for the rain to fall. Similarly, God assured Abraham that he would become the father of a great nation, but Abraham did not have his first son until he was 99 years old. Moses was told by God that he would lead the Israelites out of Egypt after centuries of slavery, yet he spent 40 years in the desert before fulfilling this destiny. Joseph received a powerful dream from God, indicating his future leadership and provision for his family, but he endured hardships, including being sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned before seeing this dream fulfilled. Despite being anointed as king by God, David faced numerous challenges and setbacks before assuming the throne years later. Even Jesus Christ, the Son of God, spent his initial 30 years in relative obscurity as a carpenter before commencing his ministry. These examples illustrate that delay does not equate to denial when it comes to God's promises and plans. During periods of delay orchestrated by God, it's not uncommon to experience feelings of being overlooked or forgotten. This sentiment is echoed in Psalm 13:1, where the psalmist cries out, questioning if God has forsaken them forever. Such doubts about God's presence and concern are shared by many, as illustrated in Psalm 10:1, where the psalmist wonders why God seems distant during times of trouble. These feelings may lead one to believe that God has abandoned them, but it's crucial to recognize that this perception is simply an illusion. God's care and attention towards each individual are unwavering, symbolized by the imagery of one's name engraved on the palms of His hands, signifying a bond that cannot be broken. Despite the storms of life, God never forgets His children. They remain in His thoughts and heart at all times. While delays may cause temporary feelings of neglect, it's important to trust that God's timing is purposeful. He intimately understands each person's desires and concerns, and if His actions diverge from expectations, it's because He has a greater plan in motion. Patience is key, knowing that God's love is constant and enduring, and He will never forsake those who place their trust in Him. God's timing can sometimes lead to feelings of disappointment, especially when we've been fervently praying for something important and eagerly await an answer. Perhaps there's a specific request or longing that has been on your heart for quite some time, and you're earnestly seeking clarity or resolution. Dear viewers, as we bid farewell, we want to express our sincerest gratitude for your unwavering support. Your presence has enriched our journey in ways we could never have imagined. Before you go, we have one final request. Please take a moment to comment and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement fuels our passion to continue spreading positivity and inspiration to others. Thank you for being a part of our community. Wishing you all the best on your own unique path ahead. God bless you, and remember, He is with us every step of the way. Amen.